How's everybody doing today? We are out and about in the Columbia County backwoods. Here's my buddy Nate, and we're going to do a walk around of his big old Chevy van. Nate and I have known each other for 15 years probably. Nate got me into hiking in the outdoor adventure world. He pulled me from my 24/7 working all the time to getting out and enjoying the world a little bit. So we'll let Nate describe this van a little bit. And
thanks, Rich. Rich is a good buddy of mine, and kind of twisted my arm to do this video. So here's the deal. Everybody wants to sort of put their vehicle into a certain category, and I don't know what category to put this in, because it's not in a rock crawling video. It's not in a off-road video category. It's not a hardcore camping expedition. I kind of consider it my base camp vehicle. And it all started sort of when I was a kid, when I saw a Sportsmobile with the big Ford E350s and the Chevy one-ton vans, and they're all kitted out for super exotic high-end camping. But I've got to be able to haul an 18-foot utility trailer and 3 teenagers and motorcycles and a tractor and implements and so forth. So I needed both a truck and a base camp vehicle to get me in and out of the various places that I like to start from and go on a trip or hike a trail or put a canoe in. And the Chevy 1-ton 2019 extended passenger van really fit the bill. I don't have it kitted out for one specific specialty. It's more of a generalist, and that's what I'm going to show you today.
well, that's an awesome setup, Nate. Quigley is a great company. They've been around forever. What can you tell us about your wheels and tires?
So I have a WeldTech wheel, pretty common, pretty blasé. You know, Quigley tells me you can run up to a 289 with a little bit of rubbage if you want to like cut some metal and do some mods. I don't. You know, this vehicle isn't primarily focused on efficiency, but that's a key component for me. And so I'm running a 265/70 R16, which is about as big as you can run for practical purposes without re-gearing and without doing a little bit of modification in the fender well. And for what I want this vehicle to do, it's absolutely perfect. I get reasonable efficiency, I get reasonable capability, and I'm running a BF Goodwrench all-terrain tire. I'm probably going to upgrade that tire to something a little bit different next time. Probably, believe it or not, something a little more efficient, because this isn't an off-road vehicle. It just needs to get me in and out of canoe access points, campgrounds, back roads, trailheads, muddy roads. I don't need to be rock crawling. I don't need to haul myself out of big mud holes. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I need an exotic big 35 or 40 or 44-inch tire. What I've got on there is just enough.
How about that roof rack you got? That is one robust roof rack. And you did a lot of that yourself.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's the deal. Like, I love Illuminess. There's a number of upfitters and outfitters for this type of vehicle, but they're insanely expensive. And what I did is, for several months, I went on eBay and I would bid on these Yakima high tower gutter mount roof racks, which they no longer make. And so I would bid on the high tower mount and then the crossbar, and I ended up, for pennies on the dollar off of eBay, securing these Yakima high tower crossbar roof racks. And then instead of like an expensive like a Luminess, or there's several others who make a gorgeous full-length roof rack, I went to Harbor Freight and I bought 2 ATV loading racks for the back of a pickup truck, and I mounted those to the bars. And so I have a real nice, flat, huge roof rack for canoes or anything else.
What do we got going on back here, Nate?
So the Chevy Express one-ton extended passenger van naturally is probably used to transport people in an airport or to a hotel or a convention or something. So it doesn't come with a hitch. I had a heavy-duty hitch installed, which I use prolifically, both for recreation and also, for utility. I haul my compact tractor. I go to Lowe's or Home Depot and pick up lumber with an 18-foot utility trailer. Like, this van is not just a pleasure vehicle or a camping vehicle. It's kind of my truck. It is my truck. And so the hitch was very, very, very important. Now, I cheaped out on the rack because I found a way, I think, to do it for pennies on the dollar that accomplishes everything I want to do versus buying like an Luminess rack, which are very expensive. But I haven't found anybody who really makes a spare tire carrier for this vehicle. There's a number of kits. You could custom build and weld one, but like, I'm not rich. I'm just not my buddy Rich. I'm not handy that way. This was money well spent for me and gives me a lot of peace of mind to carry the same sized wheel, the tire, the same sized wheel on my van with very little hassle. So it's a slick setup with Luminess. So the only thing I've done to it is added this sort of rubber bumper protector, because when I open the rear doors, the barn doors, which I love the barn doors, this one tended to hit the rack. So that solved that problem. I can't open it to the secondary lock, but it's plenty. This one I still can open to the secondary lock. So this is kind of the hub of the storage area. This has 3 seats. I pulled out the first seat and the third seat rather. And this will hold all our coolers, all our gear, and I run a memory foam mattress on here, which is huge. And both my wife and I find that to be plenty of room, with the second seat out of 3 still in place. So I can still haul 5 people and still sleep in this unit and haul a ton of gear.
That's a great setup there, Nate. And you guys have been out on many trips. You take the family out for a week or so. I mean, how does everything lay out for you and work?
Well, great question, Rich. I mean, bottom line is, like, the whole thing is totally adaptable. I have a 16-foot cargo trailer that's I built sort of into a mini cabin for luxury camping. But what we do is we pull gear in and out of our different scenarios, and we load the van based on really what we're trying to accomplish. For instance, I have Cabela's collapsible tent stakes in there, so I can run a tarp off of the side and deploy my adjustable tent stakes. I've got chairs, I've got mosquito netting for the back, for the side, for the windows. It's completely adaptable. In here, I have a USB shower kit where we can warm up some water and drop my pump in a bucket and create a luxurious warm water shower situation. It's entirely adaptable. I will run a generator as needed. I will run a refrigerator as needed. It's all completely adaptable based on the conditions, the climate, and what the end goal is. So we had debated long and hard over whether we get a sliding door or the barn door option. One of the advantages to a sliding door is the fact that we can slide in between trees, a really small spot. It's very tight to the vehicle, and we chose that option. But with the first row seat removed from this van, we literally have a modern pickup truck bed with cat, storage space ability. We can carry 2 gravel bikes, for instance, with 2 dogs, with a cooler fridge, with all kinds of gear, and 3 passengers in this space with our sliding door. And it fit the goal, the end use, we were gunning for. So I had a local outfitter install a stereo head in this unit, which amplified my backup camera, which is lovely because now I can monitor my kayak or canoe trailer or my camper trailer or whatever I'm hauling. That's the only major upgrade I've made in here. It does have a 120 volt power inverter, which is very handy for running a laptop. I have your classic RAM mounts, 2-sided adjustable, so both my wife and I can run GPS, run phones, run entertainment. Other than that, it's mostly bone stock up here.
Well, Nate, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to me today. You did a great job on this build. This is an awesome rig. Anybody could be happy to have this rig and get out in the world.
Well, you know, Rich, it's pretty much my Swiss Army knife. It's not a specialist. It's not designed to do anything particularly social media cool, but I've got at least 6 years of college and running back and forth with my children to various institutions and traveling around the country, and this rig is perfect. I have some great ideas for it for the future, but I don't know where it's going to end up, and right now it's exactly where I want it to be.
Well, it's a great build, and you're prepared to go about anywhere. Thanks.
Thank you, Rich.